Hey, welcome back, Ram fans. Mark from Rams Up here. I'm going to share another mock draft with you. You can follow along as I make these picks mock draft. I think it's number 18, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm going to do things a little bit differently this time. I'd like to mix it up. This time, I am going to draft players with an eye on the players the Rams have had pre-draft visits with. Let me share that list with you here in a second. Not saying I'm going to pick them all, but just have an eye on those guys. See if the Rams can come away with a couple of these players that they've had pre-draft visits with. They obviously have a little bit of interest in them, right? Or maybe not anymore after the visit. You never know how those go. But I'll share that here with you. This is off my ramsup.com website. Couple of edge rushers. These guys are pretty highly rated. Nolan Smith, probably a first rounder. Will McDonald, late first, second rounder, more likely second. Big wide receiver, Jake Bobo, Tank Dell, Houston, out of Houston. It goes by Nathaniel Dell, I think, as well. 5'8", 165, so I'm calling him 222. Trey Palmer, a great size speed combination wide receiver out of Nebraska. Interesting, they met with him. I've been talking about him for about a month. I think he's going to be a really good NFL wide receiver that can be had in the mid to late rounds. A big cornerback, a couple of quarterbacks, Jaron Hall and Aiden O'Connell. A couple of tight ends, Durham, the guy that stepped up at the Senior Bowl. Schoonmaker, mainly well, I shouldn't say mainly, but a very good blocking tight end. He could be a really good NFL tight end, not just a blocking tight end. And a group of defensive linemen who, for the most part, are not all of them, but the bottom three there are more likely later round draft picks, if I'm not mistaken, and then a kicker. And I'm not saying the Rams are going to draft a kicker. They met with a kicker. That means it could be as simple as, hey, BT, get thee to Thousand Oaks immediately after the draft, and we will sign you as an undrafted free agent. So let's go to the simulator, and we'll get this started again with an eye on those guys I just shared with you. How about that? So we'll get this started. I'm going to cut it on fast speed. We're going to blast through this really quick this time. Trying to keep this in under 10 minutes, and I'm going to really quickly reject all trades for to make this as realistic, or at least, yeah, as realistic as possible. Who knows what draft trades would really come up. So any of those tight ends here, no, they'd come later. The one guy that might be available here at 36 is Will McDonald out of Iowa, Iowa State. And there's some really good tight ends still here, though. Dalton Kincaid and Darnell Washington. But so let's go with this is probably going to be their only chance to grab Will McDonald. So we will do that maybe a little early for him. And we're only going to get a B for that. But I'll live with that for now. So they need cornerbacks, and a couple of cornerbacks as well. So I'm not sure when Corey Trice is going to pop up. I think it's going to be early for him. Not seeing him on this board. So he's down at 236. So he'll come much later. I don't think any of the guys on that visit list are in this zone right here. But I'm going to take DJ Turner. Let's go back to all here. Hendon Hooker. We got a linebacker. We got another tight end. I'm going to roll with the cornerback because I think they're going to draft two cornerbacks. And maybe Corey Trice will be our second one. And if we keep an eye on Corey Trice, got an A for that pick, we can not necessarily. I've been picking cornerbacks with those next two picks and 77, or within those next two picks. So maybe I'll wait a little bit, grab some other positions. So let's not draft cornerback here. Where is Corey Trice? He's still, did I miss him? He's here somewhere. Corey Trice, 236. So we're going to go back to what other positions do the Rams need? Well, just about everything, really, especially on defense. They need a lot of people saying they're going to bring in a safety. I'm not believing that. Interior offensive lineman, I could buy that, and defensive line as well. I still don't see any of the guys that they have been had these visits with. Let's get the interior offensive lineman. I don't think very many Ram fans are going to have an issue with that. Let's go back to this list here. Durham, the tight end. Oh, I may have just missed my opportunity to pick him. Is Durham still there? Durham is still there. And is he going to last to the Rams pick? If he is, that'll be our second guy that the Rams, he just got drafted. So we missed Payne Durham. I think it would have been a little early with that previous pick for him anyways. So let's go back to this list. Who else might be? How about Schoonmaker, the tight end? Was he already drafted as well? We're missing out on all our guys. So let's go back here and, with A'Shawn Robinson and Greg Gaines gone, we should look at these these defensive linemen. Are there any guys the Rams have met with here? I'm not seeing any of them. Well, there's Johnson, 351 now. Way too early for him. So Deuce Vaughn, smaller running back. Jake Haener, the quarterback. There's Jaren Hall at 147. They met with Jaren Hall. They're drafting Jaren Hall. How about that? Sticking with my plan here. I don't know if my plan is coming together, but 171 here. Let's forget our list for a moment because there are some other needs. Interior defensive line. I just had that on a second ago. Jalen Redmond. That's right about where he should go. Tyler Lacey as well. Let's go with Redmond. Got to just fill these spots on these holes on our defense big time. Can't forget about Corey Trice. Let's see where he is stacking up here. Did someone draft him? Someone drafted Corey Trice. We missed out on him. That's a bummer. Scan through these best available. Well, you know what? We better get the best available cornerback at this point. We're at 177. Don't know a lot about these guys. We'll draft Keatrell Clark, if that's how you pronounce it, and we'll do some research on him afterwards. How about that? So what do we have here? We have an edge rusher, two cornerbacks, interior offensive line, a quarterback, defensive line, another cornerback. We could go safety. We could go tight end. We could go running back. Safety, tight end, running back, even wide receiver. Let's go back and look at this list one more time. Are there any guys that... We've got two guys off this list. Where is Jake Bobo lining up here? Is he still... He may have been taken already. Oh, there he is at 262. Let's think about him with our next pick. How about that? And we'll go back to... tight end, running back. Any running backs we really like here? I really like Lupke, but I'm going to draft Rodriguez, the big running back. So who are we talking about drafting here? Who did I just say? Bobo. Is it too early for Bobo? Sounds funny saying that. Is it too early for Bobo? Bobo's 262. Our next pick is 191. We got our running back. Let's look at safeties. Jay Ward, that's a good value there. I'm not going to spend a lot of time thinking about that one. We got our safety, just kind of spreading these picks around different positions. Haven't been watching the board as it flies by. I'm assuming Bobo's still there, 262. Getting a little risky passing on him at this point. Let's go back and look at this list. We got Will McDonald. Is Trey Palmer still there? I forgot about Palmer. Looks like it's going to be Bobo that we're going to have to grab if we want someone off this list. Payne Durham, Luke Schoonmaker, defensive lineman. Oh boy, this is hard. This is difficult to do, trying to keep track of all these guys. Let's go ahead and let's skip Bobo one more time. And we don't have a linebacker yet. Rams are really thin there. Miller is a guy I've taken in previous drafts. You can tell I'm putting tons of thought in every one of these picks, aren't I? And now, is Bobo still there? He better be. Did someone grab him? No, there he is. We'll get Bobo. So we got 3 guys off that list. And we got one more pick left. So we got edge, cornerback, interior offense. We only got 1 interior offensive lineman, 1 defensive lineman. I think we could go defensive lineman, or we could go even another edge rusher. Let's see who's the top guys on the board. Maybe we should do that. Clayton Tune, but we already got Jaron Hall. We got a wide receiver. We got another cornerback, defensive lineman. Let's draft another defensive lineman. We're basically going with Aaron Donald and Jonah Williams, and can't even think of the guy's name. We got a couple other guys that we can throw in there. Can't think of the guy we picked up late in the year. His name's evading me right now. But let's look at this: edge, cornerback, interior offensive line, quarterback, defensive line, cornerback, running back, safety, linebacker, wide receiver, defensive line. Covered, I think we touched all the bases, and we got on the Rams visit list Jake Bobo, Jaron Hall, and Will McDonald. So there you have it. Oh man, that's bothering me. I can't think of that defensive lineman that we grabbed late in the year, and have him on our depth chart. But anyways, Rams need some help at defensive line with Gaines and Ashawn gone. So we stocked that pretty good with 2 more players. That's mock draft number 18. For better or worse, you can all shout at me and remind me of that guy's name. I'm gonna go look right now since I'm done here. That's mock draft number 18. We'll do this again with another strategy every time, changing it up. Out here for now from Rams Up.